Now, President Trump has made quite a few questionable phone calls to world leaders. Ukraine is one of them. In fact, you have an impeachment inquiry based on one of those calls and how it was very concerning to some of the staff at the State Department and in the White House. So now we have another call that's led to a little bit of concern, I should say. According to former aides and members of the administration, one conversation left them, quote, genuinely horrified. Huh. Okay, well, that's interesting. So now, what call is that? Now, that would be the conversation. It wouldn't be the one with Ukraine, but again, a conversation with Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. This happened in April of 2017. So now, what was wrong with the call? Why were people genuinely horrified? Well, during the call, Donald Trump congratulated the leader of the Philippines for doing a, quote, unbelievable job on the drug problem. Now, oh, okay. So, look, if you're genuinely doing good policy when it comes to reducing the level of drug deaths and drug crime in your country, well, I mean that generally would be cause for celebration, right? Except in Duterte's case, his way of cracking down on drugs was to basically murder everyone involved, whether it be drug users or people that have possession or sellers. Murder them all, kill them all. Oh, in fact, this drug war has killed over 20,000 people. Not 200, not 2,000, 20,000, according to the Human Rights Commission. Oh boy. Now, not only that, but during this, Duterte disregarded due process and human rights, literally killing people, like I said. And Donald Trump's over here saying, what an unbelievable job. Now, that is deeply concerning. And so now when people brought up this and was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't, I don't know, praise dictators for doing awful human rights abuses, that criticism didn't get through. In fact, at a summit in November of 2017, same year, Duterte and Trump only had praise for each other. According to Foreign Affairs Secretary Theodore Locsin Jr., Trump even compared Duterte to Frank Sinatra after Duterte sang for him during the event. You've got to be kidding me. What? Now, and in a Newsweek article in September 2018, the love was returned. Duterte was quoted as saying that, quote, that Trump, quote, speaks my language. Yes. Well, ain't that the truth? So the Washington Post also reported called Duterte was just one of many that Donald Trump made to world leaders who are either outright authoritarian or display authoritarian tendencies. And so it's not just, calling those people, it's how he talks to them. He said, oh, you're doing a tremendous job doing this and you're doing that. Like some people might say, oh, well, that's good diplomacy, right? You just butter them up and then you maybe make a deal with them. I mean, that's how we got meetings with Kim Jong-un, right? Kim Jong-un essentially played Donald Trump. He's wanted those meetings all along. And I'm not against diplomacy. I'm pro-diplomacy as long as we actually get something for it, something positive. And in the case of North Korea, we didn't get anything positive. In the case of Iran, it was completely negative. In fact, Donald Trump ripped up the Iran deal and has been asking to meet with the Iranians who are like, no, you're not going to honor any of the agreements that we made previously. Then what's the point of talking with you? Because we don't trust you. That's a fair enough criticism, whether or not you like the Iranian mullahs. So, but again, you have these calls with authoritarians where he sucks up to authoritarians. Not good. Not good. So now, other leaders that he called included President of China, President Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and of course, Erdogan. And look, support for human rights abusers aside, White House staff also feared that Trump would make promises he couldn't keep, endorse policies that the U.S. government would not support, commit diplomatic blunders, that could jeopardize alliances or make deals in exchange for personal favors. And I'm pretty sure he's done just about all of those things by now. I mean, look at Ukraine. Ukraine's a good example of, right? Not only that, but you have China, right? So now, President Xi, meets with Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump, and guess what? Her trademark approvals just happened to go through, despite having a trade war. Interesting. No wonder the Trump administration keeps going through the effort of trying to hide these phone calls on a secret server. But here's the thing that really bugs me about this, right? And it actually doesn't have to do with Trump. Let me give you a quote from the article. This is one former White House official. There was a constant undercurrent in the Trump administration of senior staff who were generally horrified by the things they saw that were happening on these calls. Among them, the official said, were phone calls that were embarrassing, huge mistakes. He made months and months of work that were upended by one impulsive tweet. So my problem is, if it's that bad, why not speak out? Why not gather other staff members internally and try to invoke the 25th Amendment? Why didn't they do that? Instead, they either quit or they would just leak to the press. And that's about it. That effectively does next to nothing. The staffers, however, will get the benefit of when Donald Trump is gone, come out and say, I was one that was against Donald Trump. The whole time I was sounding the alarm. Well, what good does that actually do? Hate to break it to you, but the alarm's been going off for about 3 years. And nobody's had the courage to actually do anything meaningful about it. I mean, if it's about, I don't know, trying to hand the Democrats reason to impeach or the power to impeach, remember who leads the Democrats. Nancy freaking Pelosi, who will do absolutely nothing. And so now, at this point, there's not many people left in the Oval Office, not many people left in the White House, I should say, in this administration that are not complete and total loyalists. And so these are the people, back in the beginning of the administration, when he started showing these signs of being authoritarian, etc., there was enough of a staff that could actually invoke the 25th Amendment. In fact, there was an op-ed that talked about it. But they chose not to. They said, yeah, we're not going to actually do anything about it. Yes, we think this is bad. But even though we have the power to do something about it, to remove a sitting president, we're not going to do it. And so now those people, like I said, have been either fired or replaced by complete and utter sycophants who will never, ever betray Donald Trump. So congratulations on being incredible cowards for your own power and privilege. As Trump, of course, does what he's done to every single business that he's owned, and that's drive it into the ground. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.